Pretty cool. All right, we're live, guys. So speaking of this little boat, I filmed a video with this. It hasn't come out yet. I don't even know what brand this is. Let me see if I can remember. It says Sharper Image on it, 2017. Uh, yeah, that's all I'm seeing is Sharper Image. I think I looked this up forever ago. I've had this boat for a long time. I found this at Goodwill for like $5. It runs on double A's. You take this cover off, and I think there's like 8 AA inside of there. I haven't had to change this in over a year, and I don't run it regularly because it is pretty slow. I think these are 380 motors, but yeah, it's got dual props, 2.4 gigahertz. It's actually a pretty nice little boat for $5. I've had a lot of fun with this little thing, and yeah, that's my boat. And it makes me kind of want to get into the boating side of the hobby a little more. However, there's not a ton of places I can really run this. So, I'm kind of liking the fact that I just have a little $5 boat that I play with. We got quite a bit going on today as far as the schedule. Look, let me Rock the Ozarks. Got 2 weeks, guys. Got 2 weeks. Rock the Ozarks. Uh, if you don't know anything about that, look it up. It's on Facebook. Just go to Facebook, go to the search bar, type in Rock the Ozarks. It should pop up. Pretty cool RC event. Probably the biggest RC event in the state of Arkansas. Uh, and look at that, I got some gunk in that motor. Anyway, let me set this off to the side here. We're going to be doing some work on my camper trailer. We're going to be doing some work on the puller. If you guys watched my live stream, I think 2 weeks ago, we were working on this puller, and there you go, this puller right here. And we've made a lot of progress with that. I've been working on that pretty consistently. And uh, we've learned a lot. There's a lot to learn in there. It's super dirty. We got to clean it. We got to do some maintenance on it. Uh, that'll probably be what we get started with, and then we'll move on to the camper because the camper still needs a lot of work. Like it's functioning, it pulls and stuff, and I'll give you a little tour of that here in a minute. And then we're gonna do some paint work, some detail work. Give you guys some updates on everything I can think of and remember. Speaking of which, so we got. I've been making these little signs for Rock the Ozarks. I've already got most of them already out there. Jay's gonna put them out right before the event starts. But I got a couple more of these I gotta make, and it's nice. It adds a little scaleism. Some of them will be actual street signs to tell you, go this way or that way or whatever, just for the scale stuff. I have no idea how well these will hold up. Try not to run these over, guys, because I don't know how strong they are. Because they are put together with hot glue and stuff. I had to make my own signs. Last year, I bought signs and just put vinyl on them and stuff, and those were pre-made. They didn't have them this year, so I made my own, and it looks kind of cool. I mean, personally, I think they look like they're welded, right? But that's just hot glue and some silver paint, just meant to, give it kind of a scale look. Uh, that's for that. I am gonna have a booth this year. I probably won't be selling much. I mean, if you know anything about the RC community, everything's for sale for the right price. But I'm not going to intentionally sell stuff. Like I might have, some wheels and tires and stuff. Like I got a full set of these really nasty. What are these? Black Mambas, right? Are they Black Mambas? With the crush locks on there. I might have these for sale. A bunch of other sets. I got some sets that are like I got a full set of these that are brand new. Kind of a knockoff Hyraxes. They've never been used. The rims, I couldn't even tell you what brand they are. I don't know how much I'm going to sell them for, but I'll figure all that out later. But I will have some stuff for sale. Probably some of my old stuff and like some of my custom builds and stuff. I may sell those. I may not. I don't know. It depends on my emotional attachment to them. You guys got to kind of understand that if you don't know anything about the RC hobby, is sometimes stuff is you can get a really good deal on some RC stuff, but other times you're going to have to pay more because of the emotional attachment that that person might have to it. Maybe it's a discontinued model, or maybe it's a full-on custom build like this RC pulling truck. So like something like that. I don't know. Like I may sell it, but it's got to be for the right price because I spent a lot of time building that. Okay, that aside, we're going to be doing some painting and stuff here in a minute. Let's work on this, talk about this, get our maintenance done. So the last live stream that this was on, we were trying to figure out how to fix the double skid plate thing, and I kept going in circles with it. And I come to find out that having two skid plates bolted together, I thought that would be a weakness. Turns out it's fine. I had no issues with it. I pulled with it. I didn't have any structural issues. So I'm just going to leave that. I didn't have any driveline issues. I didn't like my drive shafts being that off center on the drive line. I had my drive shafts kind of angled up, and it doesn't seem to bother it any. So I'm not even going to bother with it. It works fine. All right, let's get this body off. This is very dirty because I just got done filming a pulling video with it. If you haven't seen that video after this live stream, go check that out. That was pretty fun. I learned quite a bit in that video. I learned quite a bit. So originally we had we'll just ruin the surprise right now. The electronics that are in that video are not the same that are in it right now. So when I was filming that video, I had a brushed motor and a Hobbywing 1060 in there. And I thought, it'll be enough. I mean, it won't be very competitive, but, it'll get the job done. So to give you guys a better look under this is completely dusty and dirty. So I'm going to blow this off with some air real quick, throw a bunch of dust everywhere, and then we'll talk about the actual stuff going on in here. Let me crank up my air pressure. Get about 4,000 psi going. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys closer on the camera so you guys can actually see what's going on here. Let's tip you down a little bit. All right, that should be close enough, maybe. Is that gonna come out all right? All right, cool. All right, so that chassis, let's start off with the frame. The frame is a Red Cat Gen 8. And if you know your crawler chassis and stuff, the Red Cat Gen 8 chassis is actually very beefy. It's steel. It's pretty thick. I really don't have any issues with that chassis at all whatsoever. The issues I was having, the last live stream I had this on, was I have a skid plate bolted to another skid plate, and I did not like that. I don't like the way these drive shafts are lined up. I wanted the drive line to be as straight as possible. However, like I said, through testing and everything like that, it doesn't bother it at all. I don't have any binding issues. I don't have any drive line issues or anything like that. All right, now into the electronics. We're brushless now, and now we've got some serious power. This is a 3800 kV brushless motor, 4-pole, nasty little motor. And then we have a 4S capable ESC. This is a, what is this? SC8. Waterproof ESC. It kind of goes in a lot of RTRs and stuff. Nothing to write home about. However, this is only a 10-pound truck, and I'm going to be running in the 2S class. So essentially, I am running this thing at half power. And even at half power, this thing pulls really, really good. I pulled 41 pounds the other day, just static weight, and it pulled it really good. Weight box hasn't changed any. I am planning on fixing the weight box. We'll get around to that, but it's a lot cleaner. The hitch. What's funny about this hitch? This is a actual Caterpillar tie down that actually goes on a Caterpillar, you know, bulldozer or wheel loader or something like that. So it's super sturdy hitch. That hitch will never break. That's pretty sturdy. And then it's bolted into a steel plate, which is zip tied with some beefy zip ties around the rear axle. If you're big into RC pulling, there's a very, very long list of rules for it. A lot of stipulations. It can only be so long. It can only be so heavy. There's C rating limits, or not C rating limits. There's 2S, 3S power limits to this kind of stuff. There's a whole rule book into this kind of stuff, and that is completely understandable why there's so many rules, because there's lots of ways to cheat the system to where you can pull way more weight just by, like, for instance, just the hitch. If your hitch height is too high, you could actually pull a lot of weight because it'll take the weight off the end of the sled, and you can cheese the system that way. You can balloon your tires to raise the hitch. There's all kinds of rules that people can work around and stuff in this. So there's a pretty substantial rule set with this stuff. I didn't do anything to the body really. That's still super dirty. We have a cooling fan just in case we have any issues with that. We have a light kit in here, and it's all mounted with magnets. So pretty stout little truck now. I'm pretty happy with it. It gets the job done. We want to make sure that everything's kind of working with it and whatnot. And let me fix this. Boom, there you go. All right, so now let's get started on this trailer. So this is a completely scratch-built trailer. Let me give you the tour of it. Put this on auto, don't blind me. Ah, jeez. I'm working on a way to mount this a little better. Let me take you guys off the tripod. Where did I get that truck? Or did you just get... no, this truck I built from scratch. This is all out of spare parts, out of a spare parts bin. I painted it. We made the vinyl stickers for all that. Weight box. This is all custom built stuff. So you can't really buy these. I don't think any RC company sells an actual pulling truck, which may be something, that might be something Traxxas gets into the market with at some point, somehow. I don't know. But, yeah, this is a full-on custom build. It's pretty fun truck, pretty cool. Like I said, I just uploaded a pulling video of this pulling 41 pounds. I think it can pull more. I think I got to tweak a little bit, and I think it can pull more than that. I think, because it does 41 pounds really good. I can do a full pull at 41 pounds. So I think possibly 50 pounds or more, this thing might be able to pull and be competitive. So we're gonna see about that. I'm gonna film the pulling thing. Oh, I ruined the surprise on that. On the trailer. Ta-da! Anyway, yeah, so that's custom build. You kind of have to build your own right now. There's no way to get one unless you buy it from somebody who builds them. No companies or anything like that. So we got working lights. I got all my stuff all jarbled up in there. Get my dirt bikes out of here. Little scale dirt bike. Another little scale dirt bike. Set those off to the side. We got a bunch of stuff in there right now. Bunch of scale items. We got a scale competition coming up that involves a trailer and camping sites and stuff like that. And get all the scale stuff out of here. We'll let you guys take a peek in there. It needs a lot of work still, but we got little tie downs in the floor. We got a microwave. We got a first aid kit. We got a... Where's that microwave? Microwave door opens. I'm going to try and paint those shelves today. Work on the inside some more. The lighting is pretty decent in there. I got a solar panel that charges that, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, so we gotta do some detail work on the inside. The outside's pretty much done. I'm not super happy with my windows. They're falling apart on me a little bit. I wanted to do an actual rubber gasket look, and I couldn't get it to work right. And I tried several different materials, and I ended up landing on electrical tape, just this kind of stuff. Thank you, appreciate it. So yeah, this is made out of, well, the top is made out of polystyrene, different thicknesses and stuff. Like this bend right here, this is some pretty thin stuff. And then I lined the inside of the ribs. I have a build video on this too. But the cool thing about this trailer is the suspension. So this is a custom built suspension I made out of links. And it uses a Red Cat Gen 8 portal axle. And then it's made out of links. So it's got all kinds of flex, so you can actually crawl with it. All right, man. Awesome. Thanks. What's the weather like in Brazil? Is it warm? I'm assuming it is. But, yeah, we're going to work on that today. I'm going to detail that. I got to clean it, re-glue some stuff. I had a little Wi-Fi unit there. I just painted these like 5 minutes ago, so they're still a little tacky. I sprayed them with some spray paint. What we're going to do, these, let me strap that back on. Get back in there. Get back in there. All right, so these, I got lots of stickers on there too. But these will go in here, like so. But we're going to detail them up. We're going to add some rust and whatnot. Maybe some black washing, whatnot. I don't think we're going to paint on these any, but we got cornhole. A little camping gear there. So that's partly what we're working on. I don't have a whole lot of maintenance to do to this truck today. We'll get there. I'm only going to live stream for like an hour. I'm going to try and stick to that. We're up to 4 weeks in a row, guys, where I have live streams. So that's really awesome. And it's really showing a lot of positivity on the channel. You guys are liking the live streams, and I really appreciate that. And we're going to keep going. Hey, that's pretty nice. That's almost about the same as it is here right now. I think it's supposed to be 81 here today. So yeah, it's about the same amount of weather. I'm in Arkansas, so it's hot and muggy. But yeah, we're gonna get some detail work going on this. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna set our little cans up there, and I'm gonna set you guys back up on the tripod and show you how I do my black washes and stuff, because I have a lot of things that I do on a budget, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize. Get the tripod out of the way and get you back up there. A lot of people don't realize that you can detail this stuff fairly cheap. I'll show you some of the paints that I use, and I get a lot of my stuff at Walmart. So like when I make my black wash, I use this. Okay, and this costs like maybe $1 or $2, I can't remember. But I have a lot of these type of brands of paint. It's acrylic paint. It works really good. I need silver, and that for the black wash. I think we'll put the silver on first. Let me find an old dirty brush. There we go. Got some really worn out brushes. You don't have to have, super expensive paint brushes to do detail work. As a matter of fact, the crappier the brush is, usually the better it turns out. I mean, now, like this pulling truck and stuff, I did that with spray paint. So that was, I just masked that off. Okay. Arkansas. Hey, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, Arkansas is, I will say, about 3/4 of Arkansas is fields and nothing. But there is a section of Arkansas that is absolutely beautiful and has mountains, and it's called the Ozarks. That's where our RC event is going on. I think it's on top of Mount Joy. But all the information for that is on Facebook right now. And yeah, it's a beautiful location, lots of cool scenery and stuff where we can drive our little trucks. I'm probably, I think I'm done uh, working on this. I mean, it really just needed cleaning, honestly. There's not much to do that I can think of that needs to be done. Because, I mean, I abused the crap out of this in that video last week. Last week I put this thing through the ringer and I didn't have any issues. Nothing broke. I didn't break any links. I didn't snap anything, which blew my mind. I thought this thing was going to tear itself apart, and it didn't. It held up really good. This is a, I want to say this is a $16 portal transmission I got off of Amazon, some no-name company, and I really thought that was going to tear itself apart. Nope, didn't. Not at all. It held up totally fine. I thought missing a spur gear was going to hurt my torque. Nope, didn't hurt it at all. I have no gear reduction in this thing other than the one gear reduction from the pinion to the drive gear, and I don't know what that reduction is, but it's some kind of a reduction. And I thought I would need more than that, but I don't. Like, the motor doesn't get hot. It all runs really good. So maybe there's something to that. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to the side so that I have space to work on this painting. Look. Oh, it's a heavy truck. 10-pound class. There is lots of other classes ahead of that that can go way heavier, way more power, and get you guys, bring you guys down to where you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Lock that in. I'm getting a little better about my live filming. There we go. All right, so we're gonna make these look a lot better. I should have showed you guys what they look like beforehand. Well, okay, so I didn't paint the bottoms. They were like that. They were just kind of toyish and plasticky, and we're gonna make them look real. That's the strategy. All right, so do I have everything I need? I got my paint plate. Water. All right, so what we're gonna do to make a black wash. This is black paint. It's just standard black. We're gonna put a couple drops of black in there, a little bit of water, about yay much. We're gonna let that sit, and what that's gonna do, it dilutes the paint a lot. So essentially it's just gonna make things look dirty and oily. The first thing we're gonna work on is I'm gonna paint these caps, these gas caps, silver. We use very little paint because we really don't need a lot. We're just painting a very small section. But these little details like this are what makes these scale competitions really fun, because you see how much work people put into their stuff. We have there's a big scale competition called the Extreme Extreme ETC. I can't even remember the acronyms of it. But it's a scale competition in Alma Lake, Arkansas. And essentially you're going to be pulling a camper with a bunch of scale items and taking pictures. And essentially we're going to vote on who takes the best pictures and who has the best scale setup. And I don't know if the winner's going to get a prize or just bragging rights. There's going to be a raffle on Sunday. It's a multi-day event. But there's gonna, or is it a raffle or is it just a giveaway? I don't remember. But there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff going on that day. I'm gonna start shooting promo videos and stuff for that soon. Focus here for a second. We got a little tab right there. You don't necessarily have to have steady hands to do this, but it definitely helps. And while that's drying, we'll do our black wash. I kind of just slap this stuff together and people seem to like it. So I want to show people uh, that you really don't have to try that hard to make stuff look better. Because, you know, some people, they'll get a stock TRX4 uh, and they'll want it to be scale. They'll want, you know, they want to go to the show and shines. They want to do a lot of that kind of stuff. And they're so intimidated by painting that they never try. And I try to tell people all the time, I'm like, anybody can do this. It just takes patience and practice. You're not going to be good your first time out. You know, your first paint job isn't going to be the greatest. So you might as well hurry up and get it done with. You know, just get it over with. Learn what you can from it. By all means, watch painting videos on YouTube and learn some techniques and stuff. Because, I mean, that's how you're going to learn how to do this for real. That looks pretty good. I think I got most of the green covered up. Because we're not, you know, again, we're not trying to be perfect. I mean, it's just a slight color contrast. I don't even know if you can see that on camera. The difference of that. I'm going to bring you guys in closer and take you off the tripod. But there's not a whole lot of color difference on that. It's just some silver. Or is it matte? It's matte medium gray. Whoop, matte medium gray. Focus. Yeah. So, and the paint I used for the actual cans, I just coated that on there. And that's not even done drying. Like, this is still tacky. I'm just, like I said, I'm just slapping this stuff together. And that's something, like, I'm trying to get people to understand, you don't have to try that hard. Like this little dirt bike. See the scaleness on this little dirt bike? Like, there wasn't a whole lot of work in this. Most of this weathering stuff was done when I bought it. It actually came in a Ninja Turtle kit. And I just painted the seat and put a little bit of grease and grime on there. And that was about it. I haven't done it to this one. I kind of want to keep this one new. I kind of like the idea. I like Kawasaki's. I kind of want to keep that one nice. I don't know if I want to weather that one just yet. But, yeah, let me think. What else can we do? This is already almost dry, isn't it? Yeah, it's already dry, pretty much. And like I said, when you're painting and weathering stuff like this, am I still in frame? Whoop! There goes the camera. Yeah, we're good. Okay. All right. So, we just painted with this brush. Throw that off to the side. I got this kind of junky brush right here. And this is my black wash. If you didn't see me, I just put some black paint in here and mixed it with water. And I mixed it with water like a lot. So essentially it's muddy black water. And what we're going to do, just kind of dab that up a little bit. We're going to put it on everything. This is where I get paint all over me. But that's okay. Because it comes off pretty easy. It's acrylic paint. Once it dries, it's on there. Like, it won't come off with water or anything like that. But essentially, we're going to make a mess. We're just going to have it on there. Like, there's no skill involved in this, guys. Once you learn how to do this stuff, like, you don't have to buy the $16 weathering kits and stuff. Like, you can do your own weathering and it'll look just fine. Okay, so I do that. And then, oh, I missed a spot. We have a clean spot. We don't want clean, we want dirty. All right, and we're going to fling that off everywhere, make a huge mess. And then we're going to let that sit for just a minute. We don't want to let it dry all the way. We're going to do the same thing on this one. And like I said, there's no skill. No skill involved. All we're doing is making a mess. That silver paint probably isn't even all the way dry, but we're just going to make a mess. Look at, I got paint going all over me. And then we're going to let that one sit for a second. I'm going to grab a rag, a little microfiber towel, closest thing. Try and get some of this stuff off of me before it dries. Once it dries, it's quite a bit harder to get off your skin. So if you wipe it off, and see, that's not bad. Ta-da! All right, so we let that sit on there for just a second. And now we're just going to slowly kind of dry it a little bit. We got some chunks of black paint in there. I might have watered it down a little too much. But I don't know if it's coming out on camera, guys, but look, now it's just dirty and grimy. An old grimy gas tank. And then we just let it dry like that. That one's honestly not bad like that. I kind of want to leave that alone for the most part. Just on right there. Yeah, nice. And we just let those dry for a little bit, and those will be ready to go. And that kind of stuff, you know, some people are really intimidated by that. And I want people to not be intimidated by that. So like when I do my white lettering on my tires, which I don't have one. Let me go grab the Chevy. Everybody likes the Chevy. Let me move this off to the side. And I'll show you some more detailing techniques that a lot of people get intimidated by. And I want to show you that there's really no reason to be intimidated by it. Can I zoom? Oh, I can zoom. I didn't even know I could do that. Sweet. All right, so let's get you guys right there. You can watch paint dry for 10 seconds while I grab the Chevy. Ta-da. All right, let's zoom back out. All right, so like these white letters on this tire right here, a lot of people have asked me how to do that. Here's what I use. Acrylic paint marker. I want to say I got it at Hobby Lobby maybe. And essentially what I did is I just took this and just traced out all the letters and stuff. And I let it weather by itself naturally over time. And that's how you get that look. Let me drop the tripod down so you can get a better look at it. But a lot of this weathering stuff is just done naturally over time. And down we go. Okay. Whoop. Ta-da! All right. So, these rims are SSD. It's a RC company. The hardware is also made by SSD, and it's made out of steel. This is a steel rim, and all I let this do is just naturally weather over time. I didn't paint this rust. This is real rust on here filling up just by itself. And then the lettering is chipping away just by itself, just from driving and whatnot. And then the actual paint weathering that I did is on this bumper. So this bumper was chrome. And I touched the chrome up. I actually have to touch up some of this stuff because you can see, like right there's a little bit of chrome showing. So I need to take some of that black. I need to take some undiluted black, some not black wash, and touch that up a little bit. There's my black. And what I'll do is I'll use my black wash brush that I was just using a second ago, and just touch it up a smidge. I'll do a couple drops of black in my paint plate. Try not to get too thick a paint going, but essentially all I'm going to do, just do a little dab. And that's it. I just touch them up every now and then as I drive them. You know, if they get a scratch on them or something like that, I just turn it into a rust spot or something like that. I pitted all of this stuff out. Let me see if I can get some better lighting going. No, that's not going to help any. All right, so I think I have another spot on the other corner that I need to touch up too. I think. Yeah, I got another spot on the corner. You can see the chrome. This whole bumper was all chrome. And let's touch that up real quick. And this is kind of like maintenance if you're going to drive these things. Is just touching them up every now and then. And once that dries, that'll blend right back into everything else. If you don't know anything about these old Chevy trucks with these bumpers, if you have an RC four-wheel drive Chevy K10 or the Blazer or anything like that, this strip right here is actually supposed to be rubber. It's just they chrome the whole thing from the kit and whatnot. So I painted mine to look like the actual rubber strip. And then let's see if we can get you a little lower. And you can see the patina work I did on this. About there. Sure. That should be enough. Alright. Get you as close as I can. Thank you. Appreciate it. Nice and scale. I'll talk more about this, tell you all my little techniques I used, but essentially I used just some acrylic paint. Whoop. Metallic like that. And what I did, I have a whole painting video how I did this bumper. And if you guys want to know exactly how to do this stuff, what's up? I can you can check that out on the channel. But if you get real close into this, you can see the pitting. I did rust pitting. You can see my finger for detail. But it's got rust pitting and all kinds of stuff on here. And I even put a dent in the... This is plastic, guys. You can't even tell, but this is plastic. And we may even need to get lower. Let me just take you guys off the tripod so you can see better. All right. That's a better look. So yeah, you can get a real clear idea of how this pitting works. So the technique I used, which some of the modelers out there will probably know what I'm talking about, but I use the hairspray method. And essentially what you do, you paint your rust first. So I painted this whole bumper. It's all completely rusted. So I mixed my own color of rust. I don't use like weathering paint and stuff. I make my own. And I just make a bunch of different browns, like brown oxide, and I mix them all together to make the color rust I want. And then I painted this, I let it completely dry and cure, and then I covered the whole thing in hairspray. Okay, and then while it was covered with hairspray, thanks, appreciate it. While it was covered with hairspray, I did a coat of this metallic. And it's essentially what that does, the hairspray makes a substrate. So there's a little barrier in between the rust and the silver. So what's going to happen is the more I drive this, the more it's going to naturally rust over time. See, it's already started to naturally rust in these little creases and stuff, which is great for a plastic bumper. All right, now to really show off to you guys, I guess, we'll open the hood and you can see what's going on in there. Let me raise you guys up on my... Ta-da! And then we'll talk about the interior and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I need my screwdrivers. Oop. Get in here. You guys don't know this, with your RC four-wheel drive trucks, all you have to do is just lightly tighten these screws when you open the hood, and it'll stay open. I didn't know that until I figured that out, accidentally. And then we'll tighten this back one. Come on. Come on. It puts the screwdriver in the hole. There you go. Alright. Then we're going to go like that. There. Done. Alright. So I've spent a lot of time working on this engine bay. Lots of little scale stickers. You can get the lighting in there good. Bring you guys down just a little bit more. So I did kind of the same thing on top of this grill, where I painted little bits of rust and whatnot. It's got lots of little pitting and stuff. It all adds to the detail. So, this actually comes, you know what? I could probably show you the box. I forgot to tighten up one of the screws. Let me get this one going. All right, you gonna stay? There you go. There you go. Stay. All right. So let me take you off the tripod. The stickers and such, I bought a sticker pack at my local hobby shop that had all of these in it. So I didn't make the stickers. Some of the stickers I made, but not any in this one. So like I made this sticker, this American flag sticker. I made that. But a lot of these, like the Permatex, the NOS, everything like that, the only stickers that came with the kit were the ones like on the battery. Let me see if I can get you guys in there. You can actually read that text. That's crazy. That is super scale. We even got some rust built up on the radiator cap. We've got lettering. Come on, focus. Lettering on the air cleaner. I did make these brake lines. I made those brake lines out of a paper clip. So yeah, it was very, very cool. So anyway, that is what you get in the kit. It looks like that. So that is the chrome bumper that I was talking about. That's how that bumper started. It looked like that. And it also comes black on the axles and everything like that. So I took that and I turned it into that. Oh, I guess I got to show you the engine bay too. So the engine bay looks like that. That's how it starts. So it's silver, and then it has different rims and stuff. But yeah, we've done a lot of work to that. I've had this truck for 2 years now. I put that little scissor jack in there. That's a 3D printed part. And then I painted the mirrors. They're weathered a little bit on one side more than the other. They got some little dents in them and stuff. And I did that same thing, the hairspray method, where the whole mirror was painted with rust, and then I sprayed hairspray over it to create a substrate, and then I painted silver over top of it so that it's going to naturally weather. And we got the rims. Thank you, appreciate it. And then I painted rust on the leaf springs and axles and stuff. Trying to keep the camera steady so it focuses good. See, that touch-up paint that we did just a second ago is already almost dry. Now, I drive this thing. A lot of people, you know, they spend all this time and money and stuff on their models and they never drive them. And I can't do that. I have to drive my stuff. So occasionally I'll get a scratch or something like that, and I'll have to retouch it. Just like this. Okay, so this trim, now that we're getting onto that part, I'll let that hood drop a little bit. So what I did for this decal, this is actually vinyl. This is not paint. So it's a sticker. And I cut this sticker, nitrous kit, K&N intake. Oh yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know if I put, let's see, do I have a K&N? Yep, right there. Got me a K&N sticker. And I got a NOS. But yeah, gotta have the kit in there. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Another thing are these windshield wipers. So I had to build these windshield wipers. Focus. These windshield wipers actually move. They're not on a servo or anything like that, but they're spring loaded. They have a little piece of rubber right there, but you have to build those. And then I have my toolbox. It's a Cobalt toolbox. I put that sticker on there just because I wanted it to have some kind of color clash thing going on. That's where I put my battery. And I also have a stick just in case I want to hold the hood up a little better. But the hood stays up pretty good with that that screw technique. And we have a lot of nice rust work in the bed. We got some oxyacetylene tanks. It's a heavy truck. And a little crate there. It's got the little oxyacetylene torch on there. I put that little flammable sticker on there. Right on, right on. Trying to make the 18th scale, the TRX4Ms. Trying to make those scale, that's tough work, man. That's where it gets really detailed. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I spent a lot of time. I did the same, kind of like the same hairspray method, but I didn't use hairspray. I actually used gear oil. So what I did was I sanded the bed, and then I painted, I think, 3 different colors of rust. And I took my fingers, and I put some gear oil on my fingers, and just rubbed like this, let that sit on there for a bit, and then I came back over it with some red model paint, and then that way the paint flakes off over time. So the more stuff you have rattling around in the bed of this, the more it's going to rust. So it just rusts naturally over time like that. And then this is that black wash kit, or not kit, but that black wash technique on the red paint can, just like what we did right here. This is drying up a little bit. I might have to add some more black wash to it. It's getting there. And then let's open our cooler. Show you another little cool technique. So we got ice and sodas and stuff in there. So how I made this ice is actually made from glue sticks. So essentially what you do is you just cut a glue stick in half, and it makes a little ice cube. And it just makes little chunks of ice. And that's how I did that. I don't think there's anything in this toolbox, is there? Oh, water from the other day. There's some water in there. And then I have my spare screws, because I do drive this. I drive this all the time. I put a lot of miles on this truck. So every now and then a screw, if you know RC four-wheel drive, if you don't thread lock all your screws, you'll lose some. Screws will back out of the frame and stuff like that. So I keep spare screws in this little bucket, and it's underneath a magnet. There's a neodymium magnet underneath there that actually holds the bucket down. That neodymium magnet's pretty heavy. You can actually pick the truck up by the bucket. That's pretty cool. I am planning to change the taillights. I'm going to put the TRX4 taillights in there so they're a little more scaled. They have that reverse light part in there. And then I got a little 3D printed toolbox. There's a rusty wrench in there for some reason. I have another toolbox somewhere. I change out the stuff in the back occasionally just for different videos and stuff like that. Like I made these Quick Creek bags. Thank you, I appreciate it. And the thing about the techniques that I'm using, they don't cost much. It's more about, I'm trying to do these techniques without spending a lot of money on weathering kits and stuff. So I really try and do all this stuff on a budget. So like the exhaust, that's a stainless steel straw that I bent and screwed in place. And then I actually put a paper clip as an exhaust hanger on there. A ladder leaning on the cab. Yeah, that would be a good idea. They actually make a ladder rack for this model. So that would be cool. It'd be like a little work truck. Something about the trim here. This trim, if I can find it. Okay, so I used aluminum tape. And I cut the aluminum tape super skinny with a slide cutter, and that's how I made the trim for this to pop like that. But yeah, this is vinyl. That's a sticker that I cut to fit in there. It's a pretty sharp little truck. Thank you, appreciate it. Yes, being low budget. That's some people see this and they're like, "Oh, you must have a lot of money." Like, no, I got a lot of time. The interior, I vinyl wrapped the dash in the interior. See if we can get all the way in there. It's got gauges. We got drinks in the cup holders. We got Star-Lord driving. We got Mark Ruffalo in the passenger seat. I don't know if you can see him real good. He's where's he at? There he is. Got Mark Ruffalo in the passenger seat. Come on, focus. Focus. All right, that's good enough. Then we got window stickers in the back. Got to support Joe ropes. Joe ropes or no ropes. Little fire extinguisher. I do have fire extinguishers in my other trucks. I have some of my other trucks that have fire extinguishers in them. Here's a better look at the rust. Rust technique. I use that hairspray technique for that. Yep, got Mark riding shotgun. You might be able to see him better over here if I can get it to focus. Can we focus? Can we focus? Come on. Come on, try and focus. These mirrors actually bend. Come on. Okay, well, he's in there. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is just taking the time to detail it, like the white lettering and stuff. And then underneath, nice and rusty. I need to retouch that with some more brown oxide. I think I used brown oxide on the underneath rust. But yeah, this one I probably spent the most amount of time doing a lot of detail stuff. I've done detail stuff on a lot of my other rigs, but this one I spend the most amount of time on. Got actual emblems. That's not a sticker, that's an actual emblem. Let's see how our paint's drying. Yeah, it's about dry. We may, like I said, we may do some more black wash. I mean, they're dirty, but they don't look dirty enough for me right now. That's what it looked like originally. It was just red. And I wanted some green ones. I already have a red one in the back here, along with the other stuff. Those Quick Creek bags are pretty cool. I made quite a few of those. And then on top of the Quick Creek bags, let me see, check my materials bin here. I also have a little hay bale. Right on. I have videos on all this stuff if you want to learn how to make this stuff yourself. I have lots of videos. I actually made quite a few hay bales. I might give some of these hay bales away. I made a big one at Rock the Ozarks. I'm probably going to give a few things away at Rock the Ozarks. At least some of these hay bales. I was just making hay bales because I was bored one day. Got some little scale hay bales. Right on, right on. Yeah, I think I'm up to like 1,100 videos right now. So yeah, I got plenty of videos, lots of cool stuff. And like I said, I make all this stuff on a budget. You know, it's meant to be budget friendly. Because I see a lot of cool scale stuff, but some of that stuff is outrageously expensive. My little scale trash can. I haven't figured out what to do with that. I just think that's kind of neat. We got little dirt bikes. This is my camper trailer that we're working on today. I got to do the inside of that. But yeah, it's solar powered. We got lights in there, little microwave. We got to do the interior still. It's got not a lot of work done on the interior. Engine bay. So that's pretty much everything on this specific truck. I'm trying to think of some more scale techniques that maybe are a little different on some of my other rigs. If I could fit all my trucks in one video, I would, but I think, I don't even know how many trucks I have right off the bat. Right now, I think I have maybe 20. Let's stretch this back out. How I made these hay bales, those little scale hay bales. So I have a bucket of grass that I got from mowing the yard one day. And what I do is I take a little piece of foam, so that's like some gardening foam stuff. And if you cut that the size you want and then just spray glue all over that, and then you just stick grass around it. And then I put baling twine around it, and that just makes a hay bale. So yeah, lots of little cool scale techniques to do. I save a lot of materials, cheap materials to try and make stuff with. Like coat hangers and all kinds of stuff. Some stuff I do buy. Like this this little box here, little cargo box. It's got my firewood in there. I'm planning on having a little scale fire with my camping thing. Some of these you can't find anymore, but like this little scale cornhole game, I found that at Cracker Barrel. I think that was like maybe $8 or something at the time. Right? Incredible little rooms and stuff. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I watch that kind of stuff too. I love watching modeling videos, all kinds of stuff. Like we got little, oh, I completely forgot what was in this little bag. So that's a functioning zipper. And we have pots and pans in there. We have little camping pots and pans. I think I got that at Hobby Lobby. But if you're camping, you know, and you wanna cook up some fish that you caught, you know, you gotta have the little scale stuff in there. What else? I think that's about it for the Chevy. What I can probably do, let me put the hood down, and I will show you guys my XJ. My XJ has a lot of scale stuff on there. All right. I'd like to put a sound kit in this. I think that's going to be the next big step, is having a sound kit on this. I'll leave that in frame for you guys, and then I'll go get my XJ. Because my XJ has a few different techniques on it. That is, that's pretty nice. That's a Lexan body though, so it's not the greatest as far as scale goes compared to a hard plastic body, but it'll be a lot of fun. So grab that. All right. Set you down there. So that's my XJ. Oh yeah, absolutely. So the theme for this truck is Punisher. I have, let me get you off the tripod again. So we got Frank Castle driving. This is a Axial SCX-10-2. Lots and lots of work on this thing. We got all kinds of stickers and scale stuff on there. I don't know if you guys can read that, but it says, if you can read this, roll me back over. That was a funny sticker. Got lots of little scale items and stuff on there. I used to skate back in the day, and my preferred brand was Zero, so I put a Zero board on there. And then I did more ice. That's out of glue sticks. We got some firewood. couple of scale stuff. I got a magnet in here. This is a this uses body pins, so you don't lose your body pins. You can just drop it right there, and it'll hold it. There's a magnet inside of here that'll hold your body pins down. I guess, yeah, we could take the top off so you can see a better look of the interior, because this has a full interior inside of it. So we'll take our body pins out. I have hidden body pins underneath the spare tire here that hold the body down. I haven't even attempted to try and get these out. We'll take the spare tire off, put that on the magnet. There we go. Set that on the Chevy. I just kind of glued a servo horn down to hold that spare tire on. What's up? All right, so let's take this off. This has lights and stuff. I like this. I love these scale ratchet straps. These actually work. These are actually functioning scale ratchet straps. So they actually ratchet and work. How cool is that? All right, so let's pop that off. Right? Oh, I forgot one. Get off of there. Come on. There. And we'll set that on the magnet. I haven't tested this yet. Come off of there. There we go. We got some lights plugged in there. Little JST plug. So inside the interior, got a little 3D printed Jeep interior there. That's all 3D printed. And then interior here is all 3D printed. See, that was what I was talking about, fire extinguishers. I have fire extinguishers in a couple different rigs. And then he's even got a little scale RC with him in an interior, which this isn't a full-fledged interior, but it's got 3D printed fenders and stuff. If you know anything about SCX-10 2s, they didn't come with nothing. They were kind of a bare bones rig, and yeah, there's not a lot going on there. It's got 3D printed Poison Spider diff covers, but there's a lot of hop-ups on this. This has a Holmes Torque Master Pro in it, and that's the really expensive brush motor. And then it's got a BRXL ESC servo powered winch, 45 kg steering servo. It's pretty stout. That's my hiking rig. I take that with me pretty much everywhere. I put a lot of miles on this thing. I go all over the place. We have beautiful hiking places in Arkansas. Lots of places with beautiful views, lots of rocks and trails and stuff. So this is one of my good hiking rigs here. Not that I don't take this one out all the time too. I mean, I like to take this one out, but this one isn't the most capable. On leaf springs, you're not going to get a whole lot of flex out of this. Oh wow, we're already past an hour. Look at me go. I guess I'll keep going for a little bit since so many guys are still watching. Let me put that back on before I forget, because I'll forget and then mess that up. Back on there. That's a nice little spare tire carrier. I was trying to think of something easy to hide body clips, and I just thought a spare tire would work good. All right. So that's pretty much that. I mean, it's got some nice scaleness to it. But it is Lexan, so that's the only thing that really hurts it. That's that servo winch there. Really nice setup there. This is a really capable rig. This is more of a, I do crawl with this every now and then. I have a new video that'll come out this weekend of this in 4K crawling up a creek, and it does okay. But you have to limit your expectations with this. So, I mean, yeah, not a whole lot of flex there for the leaf springs. But it's a fun rig. It's a really fun rig. It's got a really nice... I have painted the inside of the... not the lenses. I painted the actual bulb of the lights because they were blue, and that was just killing the scale look of it. So I painted those yellow to give them more of a scale look to them. We could probably... Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I love this truck. This is my baby. It'll probably never be sold unless somebody gives me a lot of money to build another one just like it. I've had this truck for 2 years now, and I've been slowly working on it. This is one of the newest things I did to it was I added a vinyl strip around the window to give it more of a scale look, to make it look like that window was placed in there like that. It's actually a solid piece of plastic from here to there, I do believe. I think. No, it's not. No. I got to do more work on the interior. There's not a whole lot of work done on the interior. I wrapped the dash. You can see a little scale sticker right there. Maybe if it'll focus. Will you focus? Probably not. Okay, so if you look here, this is actually a park pass. It actually comes with the kit when you buy it, and I thought that was super cool. It's what does it say? California State Parks, day use parking, July. Ooh, I'm testing my eyeballs. July 5th, 1982. That's what that park pass says in there. And then I got the scale windshield wipers. So yeah, it's a pretty fun little rig. I get a lot of attention with this truck. Anytime I take it out in public, people are always stopping and asking about it. So yeah, I'll probably never get rid of that one. I'll probably never get rid of this one. That's kind of my go-to. Some of my other ones I could probably part with, but these are my two mains. You know, I take this one with me hiking all the time, and that one's, you know, just beautiful to look at. I mean, this one honestly could be a shelf queen. Probably the closest thing I own to a shelf queen. And that's just, you know, but I don't own shelf queens. I mean, I drive this thing almost every day. I don't off-road it like I do this one. This one gets some serious off-road time. This one, I'll just drive this one up and down the driveway and have a blast with that. Little quick creek bags. Put those up there. Yeah, I got some stuff to do detail-wise. How is our fuel tanks looking? Are they dry yet? They're almost dry. Yeah, we're going to have to black wash them some more. They're not quite dirty enough. I might have thinned that black wash down just a little too much, which that's fine. We'll get there. That's what color they were. They were that color. Well, you guys are just coming in waves today. Got some nice detail going. Lots of scale stuff. The video on my, yes, RC. Very scale. Lots of work on that one. See if I can rotate it around some. Engine bay. Well, I was going to cut the stream off at an hour, but it seems like you guys are really interested in this truck, so I'm going to keep it going for a little while longer. I need the view time anyway. If you guys haven't already, like and subscribe. I got tons of videos on this. I've shown tons of videos how I do the paint work, the detail work, all of that stuff. You know, I wonder if a dirt bike can fit in there. Can we fit a dirt bike in there? We'd have to move some scale stuff. A lot of that stuff is fixed in place that doesn't move. So I don't know if we can do that. Good comparison here. I gotta put these pins back in before I forget them. What we got here? This pin, one more, and this one. I would say the Chevy and my XJ. Oh, I didn't show you guys the back of the XJ. Did some vinyl work on that. So the camper that I'm building is probably going to be pulled with this because this has a hitch. I want to get a hitch for this one. I don't have one yet, but they do sell a kit where you can actually bolt the hitch to the frame just like a real one. Got my little toolbox there in the back. All right, let's bring you guys back down. Whoop, whoop, I said down, down. There we go. Still learning to work with this tripod specifically. Lower this down. Try not to drop you. Down we go. Come on, you can do it. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. About there. That'll work. Good enough. Good enough. Maybe. I don't know. We might need to go lower. That's not bad though. That's a pretty good angle. See if we can move some stuff out of the way. Do I have my light? No, I don't have my light. Maybe we just set this over here. Definitely my go-to show and shine rig. I actually won second place for most realistic truck this year. Let me throw a battery in it so you guys see the lights. Wherever my batteries are, let me go grab it. Controller on first. I gotta show it to you too. I keep my battery in the toolbox just for ease of use. I don't have to take the body on and off to change batteries. There we go. Pretty sharp truck. And like I said, these lights were originally blue, but I dipped them in this. This was kind of expensive. This was a little on the expensive side. Tamiya paint, lacquer, and that gave it a really nice look. Or no, that's not the right stuff. Hang on. Where's the right stuff? That's what I painted the engine with. There's the right stuff. I was about to say, I was like, that's orange. That stuff. LP69 Tamiya paint. And this is actually a clear. It's like a clear something, but it worked pretty good. It dulled the lights down. Gave them a more realistic look to it. Let's pop the engine up one more time. Alright, what'd I do with it? What'd I do with it? Where'd it go? Did I leave it somewhere? Surely not. Maybe. Where did I put that screwdriver? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Found it. Tighten these up. Come on. There we go. Mountain Dew lights. Yeah, they're a little off. I think I need to do a couple more coats with them. Because they do have a slight... They're almost too yellow. I want them to be kind of an amber color. So I don't know if I just need to do more coats to darken them up a little more. I don't know if they really need to be more orange. It kind of depends on the direction you're looking at them. This is battery powered. This runs on a 3-cell lithium polymer battery. Yeah, lots of scale details in there. Let's see if we can just... What's up? Can we zoom? Oh, yeah, we can zoom. Yep, pretty sharp truck. They are rusted just a little bit. I didn't do a black wash. I did kind of a brown wash around the lenses a little bit. But yeah, just to tone the lights down a little bit, that would probably help. We got lots of rust work and detail. I'm just gonna rotate the truck around every few minutes so you guys can see a little more of it. Well, look at, I got all my settings all kinds of messed up on my tripod now. There we go. There we go. Stop. That's enough. That's enough slices. All right. There we go. Can we go up a little bit? There we go. There. Now you guys can see the rear a little bit more. I don't care for these taillights. They're not scale. Oh, we got some. Oh, we need to touch that bumper up too. That's what we got to do. That's what we need to work on. I gotta add some rust down here. Oh yeah, this has been my hobby. I would say probably about five or 6 years now. I've been working on this kind of stuff, and I've built. I don't even know how many RCs I've built now. I've built quite a few. I actually bought this truck in Kentucky from Big Squid, Jeremy. So I figured it needed a Kentucky license plate. I don't know if you can read that real good. I need to blackwash that some more, but that says Beat the Creek. That's where I bought this at. And it did not look like this when I bought it. It was brand new in the box. Done a lot of detail work since then. Let me see if I can get a light in there so you can see that detail a little more. Pull you guys back a little bit. Yeah, that exhaust pipe. I actually I bent one of those on purpose because it's got an exhaust hanger. So like like your redneck ingenuity would is you would just take a coat hanger and hang the exhaust up. So I used a paper clip. I took a paper clip and just tied it around the pipe and tied it to the frame just to give it kind of more of a scale redneck look. Nice hillbilly truck. And get you a little lower there. You can see that power button lighting up now. It's got a Hobby Wing 1080 in it. But yeah, you can see the exhaust hanger on one side. Let me go grab another light so you guys can see a little more detail underneath. I actually painted underneath it too. Where is another light? There we go. All right. So yeah, I rusted the rear end. Yeah, we gotta fix a couple spots on that bumper. We got some rust work still to do on that. But yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice little rig. Lots of detail work on that focus. There we go. Now you can see the pitting. I did a lot of pitting with the hairspray method. Cat hair right there. But spent a lot of time detailing this one. It's got lots and lots of time, lots of love put into this rig. That's really not bad. I just got a little, you can see that little bit of chrome shining through that I got to touch up with some silver, which we can do that right now. A little piece of grass stuck right there. There we go. Get off of there. Let's we'll do that right now while I still got some silver ready to go. Or no, that's matte. We don't want matte. We want silver, right? I think so. Where's my silver? Where's my silver? Silver. Where is it? Is that it? Yep, that's it. So what I painted this with in certain parts is the metallic silver. I have a full painting video on this. Right on, right on. Whoop, wrong side of the brush. There we go. All right, so we're gonna dab just a little bit of silver on there just to kind of cover up that chrome. Where was it? Where'd it go? I'll get the light on there. So we're just gonna dab a little bit of silver right there just to cover up where it got scratched earlier. And that's all I really ever do. Like I said, I use the hairspray method, so this is going to naturally rust over time. This rust spot right there, I didn't put that, I mean, I did put that there, but the whole thing was silver, and the more I drive it, the more it's going to rust. That's why I like to drive my rigs, so that they can get that natural patina going. I did the same thing in the bed. I always scratch right here. This truck has a big departure angle, so it likes to scrape on the bottom of the bumper a lot. Right there. We don't want to cover up any rust, but we do want to get rid of that chrome. I should have just put it in like a chemical bath and just completely got rid of the chrome altogether, but I was too impatient and I wanted to get a nice look going. And just dab some paint right there on the bottom. We're not putting very much on. Very, very little. Just kind of touch up. I have to touch this truck up, you know, every few times I, does that look better? Maybe. Yeah, every few times I take this truck out, I have to touch up some stuff here and there. But yeah, quite a bit of detail on that. I got that. We'll let the paint dry on that side. Right here's a perfect example. I actually scratched. You can see where I scratched it. Maybe you can see it. You might be able to see the scratches. So I actually scratched all the way through this paint, and I had to repaint all this. So what I did, let me back up a little more. From here to here, and about that thick, I actually painted rust and then repainted it red. So next time it gets scratched, it'll show through as rust instead of that white plastic. Oh, definitely. It needs a cherry bomb muffler on there, 100%. That would be that might be the next thing I do. That's pretty good idea. Thank you. I could probably do that sometime later today. I can make a little cherry bomb muffler for it. That would be a lot of fun. And paint it up kind of bubbly and rusty and stuff. Let's get this a little, let's raise you guys up so you can see in the bed. Let me put that light away for a second. Let's go up and a little bit down. There we go. Can you see? Okay. Yes, I actually have several mudding videos with this truck. This truck does go in the mud. We are not afraid of mud. There's just a lot of cleanup afterwards. But yeah, I did the same rust work in the bed. I'm trying to keep it sort of clean. I literally just had this truck out yesterday, probably up to about there in water, in a creek. Literally just yesterday. Quiet you. I got a timer on my controller. This is the controller I run on here. I use this for several rigs. This is one of my favorite controllers. I can control like 30 different models with it. I've never had any issues with it. They really don't make them like they used to. This is a great controller. Discontinued, of course. Can't find them anymore unless you're lucky enough to find one on eBay. But the DX4S, that's a great controller. Got some bed work in there. All right, man. Have a good one. That's where I keep my battery. Just got a little one in there right now, just to kind of run the lights. We're not going far today. The next big thing I really need to work on is these lights, because these are not scale. I mean, the shape of it's scale, but the screws in the side and the two red lights, that's not how Chevys really are. The best taillight to use is the taillight in the TRX4. The TRX4 has a really scale taillight, actually has the backup white circle, or not white circle, white square in the bottom corner. And that's only like, I want to say, I think it's like $16 for the rear taillights from a TRX4. So I'll eventually swap those over. I do think they just go right into place. I'm pretty sure they're the same size and everything. I had a TRX4 Blazer about a year or so ago. I ended up trading that off for some other stuff. Let's see here what we can do. I got to touch up this lettering a little bit on this one anyway, because I'm missing some of the T and A parts. It's always the T's. The T's are always the ones that come off first. And like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I should just let it stay patina like that, or should I re-whiten those letters? Because they're starting to come off a little bit. What I use for my lettering is this acrylic paint pen. And I trace around the letters and stuff, and it gives it a nice little scale look. I'd like to give you guys a better look at the interior, but every time I try and get in there, it just won't focus correctly. All right, let's see if we can go up a little higher. We already seen down low. Well, I'm pretty sure we saw down low earlier. Let's raise this up just a smidge. Still playing with this. Like that. There we go. About like that. That'll work. Look. Definitely going with a natural look. Thank you. Appreciate it. I made that. Flag. New tires on an old truck. Like you burn through rubber every other week. A first one. Okay, so are you more interested in the scale aspect of it? Do you want it to look super real? And you're not really going to off-road a whole lot with it, then, RC four-wheel drive is the way to go. But if you're actually going to off-road with it and you're going to like do some serious trailing and stuff, I would recommend either Axial or a TRX4, because those are going to be way more capable as far as driving and stuff. Like, I do drive this one, don't get me wrong. I drive this one all the time. But, I mean, look at the flex, okay? This thing, it's four-wheel drive, but, I mean, it's going to get hung up on everything, okay? I can fit maybe three and a half fingers underneath that as far as, like, flexibility and stuff. Whereas this one, something like this, I mean, you can... I'm going to get you down low a little bit. That's way more capable rig right there. Yeah, if you're going to do Jeep trails and stuff, this is the thing to do right here. Now, this particular model, the XJ is discontinued. You can't get those anymore. But they make a CJ7, they make a Gladiator. Those are going to be your best hike and trail rigs. If you want to, this is kind of like a good compromise of scale and capability. A TRX4 is going to be your most capable trail crawler. Don't get me wrong, TRX4s are just a better performing truck, but for scale realism and stuff, RC four-wheel drive, boom racing, those kind of companies are the way to go if you want the realism. Let's see if we can see in this interior one more time. That's going. Maybe it'll let me look in there this time if I hold it stable. How much does one cost? Okay, so let me get you off the tripod. Based on looking at this and all this scale work I've done, okay, this is not how it comes out of the box. Hey, right on, man. I got tons of videos. You want to check them all out? I've done review videos, all kinds of stuff. So this is how this truck comes in the box. It's a Trail Finder 2. Long wheelbase. I have the FMS box up there too. I used to save all my boxes. I don't save them nearly as much. They take up way too much space. But this model, if you order it online, is like $600. So pretty steep price for the RC four-wheel drive. This model right here, that is only $350. So half the price of this. So, and that one will crawl better than this. This one actually has a 2-speed transmission. There's quite a few things. Believe it or not, if you are interested in getting this truck, I am part of their affiliate program. And if you use my channel, go on my channel, I have an affiliate link. You click on that, it'll save you, I think it saves you either 5 or 15% or something like that if you use my affiliate link. And you can actually save a little bit of money, I think. It may still be active, it may not be active. I don't know. I haven't even checked that in a long time. So I don't make a whole lot of money off of that affiliate link, so I don't pay much attention to it. I wish I got an affiliate link for this thing. That thing would be awesome. I don't know. Maybe I should hit up RC four-wheel drive and see if they'll send me one. I don't take sponsorships very often because usually they come with like rules and stipulations. I like to make my own content exactly the way I want to make it. So, you know, I don't really do sponsorships. I do get paid by YouTube. So every time you guys hit that like button, every time you guys watch, you're helping me out. You're helping me get paid so that I can get more stuff for this, get more stuff for that, and all my other trucks and rigs. Every penny that this channel makes goes right back into this stuff. It pays for the hobby. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, I don't make any profit necessarily, but if you guys want to see more cool stuff, you know, keep liking, keep subscribing and all that stuff so I can spend, you know, money on new stuff. What's up? But yeah, unfortunately, I got quite a bit of work I got to catch up on today. I really appreciate you guys watching and liking and everything. If you want to see more content, I got tons of videos on my channel, but we're going to have to wrap it up today. I got to get some more work done. And I really appreciate all you guys, especially all the new guys coming in. You've been a big help, helping all the channel and everything. So thank you guys a bunch. I'll catch you on the next one.